Yo, it's 1 o'clock. I'm excited. I have a guest that's zooming in. I got Tramp Gambino. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then we're gonna find out everything that he has going on. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, brother? This is super heavyweight MMA fighter Trap Gambino. I'm blessed to be on your podcast.
All right, yo. Thank you for making some time. Where you at right now?
Right now, I'm in my hometown, Worcester, Ohio, man. Just visiting family over here and stuff before a reality TV show I can't really talk about, but I'm over here temporarily, just checking out the fam.
Yeah, yeah. What's it like whenever you get to go home and hang out with them?
Oh man, it depends. I guess it depends on what type of weather it is over here. You know, Ohio's crazy when it's sunny out. Everybody over here is happy outside hanging out, and when it's wintertime, everybody just goes to work, stays inside, and drinks all day. And I'm not much of a drinker, so I don't have much to do out here other than work out.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Being in the Houston area, so we're in Texas. It's 40 degrees out here, and we
Ooh,
are
I used to live
cold.
in Houston.
Oh yeah. What'd you do over here?
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No, you know you're good. You're good. It's
Oh,
just
so out there, I used to raise pit bulls and stuff with my wife in like 2009. Yeah, we spent a year out there, and was dabbled in the what is it, Humboldt County, because they
yeah,
don't use the H or whatever.
yeah, humble.
And over there in Galveston, yeah, man, Galveston had a lot of work in 2009 when the hurricane and everything went off. So, yeah, Texas was popping. We was down there for a couple of years. I like Texas.
At that point in your life, were you introduced to martial arts? I guess when did you find combat sports?
Uh, not really. I mean, I was a fan, but it all started. So I started off as a fan of pro wrestling, and my favorite wrestler was Brock Lesnar. And I heard that he was gonna fight and real fighting. I was like, oh hell no, how is this gonna go? And I went over there and I seen it. And the first fight that I seen was Brock Lesnar and Heath Herring. And I see him punched him in the face, and he did that roll. And ever since then, I was hooked on UFC, man. And then I had my wife, now a girlfriend at the time.
Hmm.
We just kept going on dates and watching UFC, and eventually we both started training jujitsu and boxing and all that. And we both started training MMA, and then she went on to become a pro boxer and MMA fighter and grappler and all kinds of stuff. I went on to compete in some grappling matches and a couple boxing smokers, and now I'm an MMA fighter. So it all just kind of came out of nowhere, man. In the span of 2009, I think 2008 or no 2008, I think it was when Brock made his debut.
That was your first introduction. I mean, whenever people saw that,
Yeah.
what you were doing, were they surprised? Like people back home?
Um, you know what? They were happy because I was a real big guy. I was 465 pounds. I could say I was morbidly obese, and they were just happy I was moving, man. Like it started like me posting videos of me just hitting the bag for like 30 seconds, and then the next week it was me hitting the bag for like 45 seconds, and then a minute, and then I kind of got a lot of attention from that, for good and bad. But yeah, at first they were just happy that I was up and moving. But when I told them that I was actually going to go into it, I definitely had a lot of doubters, especially being from a small town where nobody does anything.
Yeah. I mean, how did it change your life?
Oh man. So I don't even know. I don't even know where to start other than, so in 2014 I've been training for a couple of years, but it was like all self-taught stuff, literally just in my home, punching the bag, wrestling with my, we bought some mats on the ground. I wrestled with my homies on the ground on the mats. Like, we really didn't know what we was doing, but I was getting in work, and I was in a town where there really wasn't any work to get anywhere else other than my living room. So one day I just said fuck it, and I decided to pack everything up in my car and just drive out west with no, I don't know why we did this, but we had like no insurance for our car. We had no, it didn't even, like, the heating and the air conditioning didn't even work. And we was at the lowest point of our lives where we just said, fuck it. And me, my wife, and I had a little kid with me at the time too. We just left to Las Vegas just to follow our dreams and see what happened. And everything worked out for the best for us. And when we came out here, we slowly but surely started finding friends and started training over here. And started meeting people and making connections. And well, I said over here, over there. And yeah, Las Vegas became our home, our new home. And we realized that our old home wasn't really our home at all. Sometimes you got to leave to find your real home. And that's what we found in Las Vegas and in the MMA community.
What drew you towards Las Vegas? Why choose there?
Fighting. Honestly, at the time, I was still overweight. So it was fighting was far away from me. But my wife, she's already had some competitions. She was really close to having some smokers. Then she had some surgeries. So, excuse me, after her ACL surgeries, we were going to move her out there so she could start training at these big time gyms. And then it ended up just she fought first out there, and then she got pregnant right after she fought. So it was like it kind of put a damper on everything. Yeah. And then it was like, well, I guess it's on me now. We're out here, you know, we're not going to give up. I wanted to fight anyway. It's time for me to lose weight and fight. So she fought in 2000, I think 17. Yeah. And after that, she got pregnant. So it was all on me, man. And now it's still on me. I got her pregnant again. So yeah, it's on me, man. And I'm glad it's on me because I hate seeing my wife fight, to be honest. I like being in there and being in control of my own situation. I don't like seeing my friends do it for me.
Yeah, it seems like that would be stressful, you know, knowing there's nothing you can do, but you're watching and supporting. How does your wife feel about you fighting?
She feels the same way I do about her. So like the other month, I should say, I cornered my close friend in Salt Lake City for his fight. And I just remember like a couple months before that, I had my MMA debut and I was so relaxed and chilled in there. And then he's about to get on stage and I'm like, man, I feel the total opposite freaking way. I'm sorry. And I wanted to run in there and fight for him. You know what I mean? Like it sucks being out of control of your situation.
You mentioned finding, I guess, Las Vegas and the MMA community, and that feels like it's almost your real family. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So when I was out here in Ohio, my friends were just like, you know, guys who would come over to you know, spar with me just so they could, you know, smoke a little stuff with me afterwards. And in Vegas, you know, I got friends that are like, you know, police officers that are putting me through police academy workouts and, you know, UFC fighters. And it's just the level of competition and the level of MMA training in Ohio from Vegas, especially small town Ohio where I'm from. There's nothing out here. So I'm out here for like a month right now, right? And I hit up the only jiu-jitsu school out here and was like, hey man, I'm in town for a month. Can I come by and get some training, you know, open mats, whatever? This guy told me that they're so booked up that like they might hit me up in like a couple months and I could come through. And I'm like, man, it's not even worth it. That's crazy. So yeah, there's literally nothing out here like that, man. And Vegas is a totally different world when it comes to MMA, when it comes to people, everything, dreams, everything. Over here, it's like nothing but dream killers. I hate the like bag on Ohio, but Ohio has a lot of this, you know, a lot of this negativity in Ohio. And I feel like a lot of us are trying to change that, like me and you know, the Jake Pauls of the world. We're the roses from the concrete, man. And even though Ohio has a lot of negativity of it, and there is some people that can come out of it, and it makes people strong. It makes us all strong. So I'm Ohio tough, man. I love Ohio, so I feel bad for talking so much trash about it right now.
Do you feel any kind of burden or responsibility to go and help the next generation that's coming up and saying, like, hey, you can either start something or you don't have to stay here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have a lot of nephews in my family that look up to me and a lot of cousins in my family that look up to me, and for better or for worse. And a lot of them say, you know, they want to be famous and stuff. And, you know, a lot of my family tells them, like, you know, be more realistic, go get a job, do this and do that. And yeah, getting a job and having security is cool and all that, but also following your dreams is the most important thing, because, you know, being comfortable forever isn't as good as, you know, living your dreams, even for just one moment, in my opinion.
Growing up, what were your dreams? What did you want to do whenever you were younger?
I wanted to be a rock and roll star and a pro wrestler. And I feel like I'm kind of doing that right
Yeah.
now with music and MMA fighting. And you know, I dabble into pro wrestling every now and then. You know, if it pays good, but I just wanted to be something. You know, I wanted to be entertaining.
Yeah. So over here in Texas City in Lamarck, the area that we are in, there are a lot of wrestling promotions in Houston as well that we talk to, and these guys are out there putting it on the line, and they are absolutely 100% athletes. But
Hmm.
sometimes you talk about pay good, it's like, you know, $50, 75, $100 if you come from out of town. You know, the pay is not that well. Is that what you have
Yeah,
seen?
these guys deserve so much more pay. And I was always a fan of pro wrestling. I've always respected pro wrestling, but it's a whole new thing when you get in there and you do pro wrestling. At first, I was just a judge for the Lingerie Fighting Championship, which is a pro wrestling league out in
Hmm.
Las Vegas. And I became a veteran judge for them. You know, I got pushed by a couple girls and stuff like that, but I never took any bumps.
Yeah.
You know, I never did any moves off the top rope or anything like that. And then one day I decided to go to Big Valley Pro Wrestling and see what that's all about. And we did a little show out there where I was a special guest. And I took a couple bumps and I did some training. They had me come out there and do some training so I wouldn't get hurt before the show. And man, the training and the show, it just, I felt like I had like three concussions from that stuff, man. And I'm not used to
Yeah.
just taking these bumps and your head's just slamming, and these 300-pound guys are picking you up and slamming you and pushing their shoulder into you. And pro wrestling is so much more brutal than mixed martial arts by far. It's much more dangerous by far. And you got to respect both for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about the prime. Like, and the cool thing about wrestling is you see these guys that are wrestling later into their career, and then they dabble back and forth into MMA at times, and it's just, they're 100% related, and it's fun to be able to watch and talk to people like yourself who are living that.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy lifestyle, man. It really is. I mean, I did think I was gonna be doing this, but it is weird. Like when you're in like a basement in Ohio, you know, with, you know, you're struggling to pay rent on that basement space and you're watching, you know, a letterbox TV of, you know, these gyms and all these things that you want to do. And you're telling your friends like, hey, I'm gonna go do this one day. I'm gonna be there one day. And they're like, ah, oh, man, no, you ain't gonna be all that. And then the next thing you know, you're there and you're working with these people that you watched on TV, and you're working in these places that you wanted to be in your whole life. And then you realize like it really is possible, no matter how impossible it seems right now. That's just because you haven't took the steps to make it possible. And the more you do, the more you see that it's closer to you, and the closer it comes, you still, everybody else will tell you like it'll never be there, no matter how close it is to you. People tell you it'll never be there because they can't fathom it, because they've never taken them steps, they've never taken that risk. But people like me have, and I know that it's possible for everybody in the world to make it there because I've done it. And I've started from the very, very bottom, and I'm working my way to the very, very top.
Outside of combat sports, you know, you talked about music and wanting to be a rock star and growing up. When did you get started
Mm.
with music?
Oh man, I've been into music my whole life. I've had fans since I was 12 years old. I was one of those MySpace musicians back in the day, when you had like the globe picture on MySpace and you had like the dots of where your fans are.
Yeah.
My dots were all over the world. I had fans since I was 12 years old, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about me. That I've been in somewhat of a light since I was really young, and you know, broke, balling, broke again. I've been I've been seen at the worst and at the best, and my music has been there the whole time, man. My music is what really started the whole, you know, bringing fans to me in the first place, and getting recognition. And it's funny because a lot of people now don't even know I do music.
Yeah. Well, like whenever they find out, are they surprised or kind of put the dots together and say, "Hey, that makes sense," or what?
Some of them were surprised, but nowadays I feel like every clout chaser or everybody wants to be a rapper nowadays. They don't understand that I do actual rap music, that I actually, try, that I don't just, go out there. I'm not one of those clout and chasing rappers. Like I do have talent behind my stuff. And yeah, I think that surprises them sometimes.
Yeah. Well, okay. You talked about the Paul brothers earlier, and I know, Jake Paul put a song out. He is about fighter pay. How do you feel about everything that goes on with him, being from Ohio as well?
So I don't know Jake Paul personally. But I am a big fan of what he's doing. So I know everybody's talking trash about the guy. I don't know how they can talk trash about somebody they don't know. I get the same thing every day. Every day I get on my, get comments. I'm delusional. I'm fat. I'm this and that. I weigh 500 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Just negative stuff about people you don't know. So I'm not going to say anything negative about Jake Paul other than, yeah, there's nothing negative to say, man. The dude is accomplishing so much right now, and especially for the MMA world and for MMA fighters and MMA fighter pay
Mm-hmm.
overall. I'm somebody so as an amateur fighter, I don't believe in amateur fighting. And even though I'm technically an amateur fighter, I am actually a professional fighter because I'm paid to fight, whether they call it amateur or not. There's loopholes around everything, and I don't feel like amateur fighting should be a thing. I don't feel like it makes any sense to anybody other than the promotion. I understand that fighters need to get their licks in, but I feel like you can do that in sparring in the gym and in smokers and stuff like that, not in amateur fighting where people are paying tickets to watch you take brain damage for absolutely free. That makes zero sense to me. I'll never fight for free. I never have, and I never will. And every time I do fight, my money's going to go up, and I hope everybody else's does the same. So yeah, I'm been big support of Jake Paul and what he's doing for fighter pay.
What's your goal with your fighting career?
Realistically, man, I don't know. I'm 31 years old, but I seem to be aging like Benjamin Button. I don't know what it is, man. Like I'm in the best shape of my life. I lost. I went from 465 pounds, and I guess I'll give the secret away now. I'm around 315, and my last fight I weighed in at 338. So I'm dissolving into a new me. That's why I just rebranded myself from Trap the Don Gambino to Trap Daddy Gambino, because I just feel like I'm becoming a new me, a new personality, a new fighter. And I don't know how far this is going to go, but I have a feeling it's going to go pretty damn far, man. And when it comes to reality shows, there's a couple shows that's coming up that I can't talk about that I wish I could. But let's just say that this is going to take this a lot further, man. The UFC needs super heavyweights. And they also said they would never have women in the UFC. They need somebody with personality. They don't have enough fighters, blah, blah, blah. I got the personality. I got the skill. I want to convince Dana White to open up a UFC super heavyweight division one day. That's my goal.
I think that'd be awesome, and it is needed because you see these guys that are cutting weight to make heavyweight.
Yes, like the Barnett, my boy Barnett. A lot of people, man. I mean, even most of the heavyweights out there are cutting weight to get to 265 nowadays. Francis, I mean, who knows what he would be like coming at 300 pounds.
Scary.
It's crazy out there, man. But
scary is what it would be.
Yeah, super heavyweight. Everybody wants to. It started out with the first fight in the UFC had a super heavyweight. Everybody wants to see monsters collide. And that's what I want to bring back.
Yeah, and that's why we were talking pro wrestling before. That's what people want to see. It's just larger in life. These guys are 6'8", 7 foot tall at times, and they're built at 300 something.
And I know I'm a small super heavyweight, but you know what? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe I can pass the torch on, to other guys down the line.
Okay, we were talking about, the Paul brothers, and I think one of the best things that they have done is market themselves. The Conor McGregor playbook, he kind of took the UFC and MMA to the next level. You know, how important is that to you to market yourself, and what's the best way for people listening to do that if they're trying to do that in their career?
Who marketing yourself is the most important thing to do right now. So, for example, my first amateur MMA fight, I headlined a card, and I was the highest paid fighter on a card. And I'm pretty sure there was professionals on that card. And I was the most paid guy out of a lot of professionals, out of a lot of cards. And that's all because I did a lot of work on my self-promotion and self-marketing. And you could go a couple ways, man. Unfortunately, the easiest way is to just talk shit, to just talk trash to people. I'm sorry. And but talking trash is going to get you hated. It's going to get clicks. It's going to get clicks a lot, but it's going to get you hated, man. So if you want to be respectful, you know, climb up the ranks, put in your work, put in those Instagram posts, but content, no matter what you do. If you want to be hated, whether you want to be hated or you want to be loved, content is key. If you want to grow fast, be hated. Unfortunately, that's the way of the world. If you want to grow, period, just post content. Me, I play on both. I like to, if I get haters, I'll go back at them, and you know, it'll make people, you know, mad at me sometimes. Sometimes I'll troll them a little bit, and it'll get the cloud up, and sometimes I'll lay back and show people the real side of me and show them that I'm not really this egotistical maniac that I come across. That, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do for those clicks. And yeah, man, self-promotion is everything. Don't expect the promoter to promote for you, no matter how big you are. He's not going to do it. You got to do it. You got to sell those tickets. And every time you see these big influencers, these big YouTubers, these Jake Pauls, these Logan Pauls, you might think they have a big team behind them, which now, yeah, they do. They're millionaires. But how they got there is they just woke up and they just did that stuff all on their own. And they did it all by themselves. They knew that if they did it, that they needed it right, they needed to do it by themselves. And that's what I'm doing right now. I don't have any management, nothing like that. So everything that you see is all by me. And if you want to start, I suggest you do it yourself too. So that would be my suggestion.
I think the other thing that they did well is get a whole bunch of people who aren't interested in combat sports or buying a pay-per-view, and they got them to do it and to watch and to click.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like, their fan base is so all over the place. And now mine is too, after the TV shows, and, you know, so like, and it's going to be a little bit more all over the place a little later. So yeah, I'm hoping to funnel all those into my fight and music career, because fighting and music is what I want to do. And after that, it's going to be real estate. And after that, who knows?
Yeah. If the TV side takes off more and you have to put that on the back burner like fighting, would you?
You know, it depends on what pays more. But at the end of the day, fighting is the main goal. Like, it seems like people don't care what I do unless I fight. And that's like, it's the biggest sport in the world right now. Everybody loves fighting. And that's what I came here for, man. That's what I'm on here for. So yeah, fighting is my ultimate goal, no matter how long it takes. Even though I'm 31, I feel like I'm 21, and I'm definitely not in no rush, but I do want to fight in like late March.
Okay. Next. So late March, is that going to be in Ohio, or can you say where that would be?
I'm guessing it's going to be in Florida. I can say that. And it's not going to be MMA, and I can say that.
Okay. So what other kind of martial arts have you trained, or has it been, yeah?
You know, I train a little bit of everything because of MMA, but mostly just boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu. You know, I don't really do a lot of wrestling. I need to up my wrestling. I probably should. I've had a couple of grappling competitions. Neither went so well. You know, I've had a couple boxing smokers. Those did go pretty well for me. And my MMA fight, you know, it's split. So my next fight is going to be in boxing.
Okay.
And that's what I'm training right now.
Is that what you're focusing on, I guess, in your MMA stuff? Like, you're focusing on the strike? You're a striker?
Oh, yeah. I want to put somebody down, man. I'm not really a jiu-jitsu guy. You're not going to see me going there and shooting double A's. You're going to see me going in there and grabbing somebody. If I'm grabbing somebody, it's gonna be to punch them in the face. I'm definitely a puncher kicker type of guy. I want to put on a show for everybody. So that's why I go for the knockout every time I'm in there, man. In the last fight, I told everybody I was gonna do that, and they didn't listen to me. I showed them the hard way.
Do you like Florida whenever you get to go and hang out there? Do you ever have time to do anything else besides fight and train?
I do, man. I love Florida. The people are really friendly down there, and right above Florida, Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Atlanta is like, I don't know, man. Like being a white guy in Atlanta, I just feel like I'm exotic or something. Like all the girls are looking at me, and so I love Atlanta, man. But Florida's cool too. But it's hard to even talk about Florida when Atlanta's so close.
Yeah, you think about the fight. It's like, hey, I'm excited to fight and all, but I'm really excited to just go hang out in Atlanta, and have a good time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even though I fought in Fort Lauderdale, I really didn't get to check out Miami that much. So the next time I go down there, I really want to check out Miami because I heard it's crazy down there. So
Yeah.
being from Vegas, I need something that's gonna get me up, and I think Miami might do that.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's like, yeah, I've seen that, but big and better in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, Vegas is cool. I've only been one time, but I mean, you got to go try and have fun there.
Yeah, it's different living there than it is visiting there. I try to get my sister. I'm trying to talk my family into moving over there, but they're all like, "Oh no, we got kids and all that." And
Right.
I'm telling them like it's perfect for the kids. Like in the area I live in is it's called Summerlin, which is like a ritzy part of town, but it's like 20 minutes away from actual Las Vegas. So
Hmm.
you're still in Vegas, but you're not like in the limelight and all that stuff. So you still get the Vegas life with the family livelihood.
Yeah. After your fighting career is all said and done, are you still going to stay connected to the MMA community? Or I guess 20, 30 years down from now, what do you
Yeah,
want to be doing?
definitely. I would love to be in like commentating, or I would never want to be a referee. That is the hardest, worst job ever. But I would love to be like a judge or a commentator. I was a judge for a pro wrestling show, but I don't know if that counts. But yeah, I have experience in judging somewhat, but I'd love to be an MMA judge, or even just cornerman or coach or something like that, or even open up my own gym one day and employ jujitsu coaches, boxing coaches, and stuff like that, and just have it under my brand. That would be nice.
What are some things that you've wanted to accomplish and you haven't had the chance to yet, whether that's in fighting or not?
Get a knockout. I was so close in my last fight. I was so close in my last fight. If I would have just, man, if the bell would have just been like 5 seconds more, he would have been done. And but it happens. It was my first fight, my first chance, and I missed that chance. But I really want to knock somebody out, man. I don't know. I'm just craving that so bad. And other than that, I just find a stability in a promotion. Like I fought for Rise Fighting Championships before, which is fine. They're shout out to them. They treated me good.
Hmm.
Flew me first class, all that good stuff. Put me up in a nice hotel, and I got paid well. Not by Rise, but I got paid well. And so yeah, I want a promotion that believes in me, that's going to stick to me, and that's going to promote me the way I promote them. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm kind of look to work with a promoter, and I feel like we have something special here. And a lot of promoters want to just, feed me the guys that are like 5-1 and 4-8 and all that other stuff. I'm trying to fight somebody who's like 0-0 or 0-1 like I am, or 1-1, or somewhere
Yeah.
close to that. And just go with what we got going right now, because I feel like it's something special.
For you, what does success look like? 5-2 next year, next fight. Like, what does that look like for you?
Like in MMA or in life in
I
general?
think life in general.
Um, Life in general, I would just say being sustainable with the family that I have right now, in a big nice house with a couple cars, and being comfortable and having bills paid and not worrying about bills next month, honestly, and giving my kids everything they ask for. Hey, daddy, can I have this little car? I'm buying this little go-kart, just keeping my kids and my family happy, providing for my family makes me the happiest in the world. So if I could provide anything my family wants, that would make me happy. That would be the ultimate goal for me, for sure.
And I guess, is that your family that inspires you to get up and keep doing this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. It used to be the haters. It used to be people online telling me that I'm fat and I can't do that and all that. And, I lost weight and I'm still losing weight. And I went out there and I done that. So when somebody says that stuff to me, it doesn't bother me at all, man. What bothers me is I'm not rich for my family yet. And that's my ultimate goal. I'm trying to get rich. I'm going to get rich for my family. So that's the goal.
You mentioned, losing weight and doing that through training and fighting. Do you plan to lose more weight?
Yes. I'm 315 right now. I want to get down, as low as I can go. We'll see what my limit is. I don't know if it, I might get the heavyweight. You never know. I'm not that big of a guy. But I am built like a gorilla. So I'm already starting to get pretty solid at 315. We'll see where it goes, man. But I still think I got a lot to lose.
Your wife, she has fought, in the past. And have your kids shown any interest in competing or anything?
So I've trained them, since they were kids, and I show them how to strike and stuff like that. And I got 2 girls and 1 boy, so I'm pretty sure the boy is gonna fight. The 2 girls, I don't know. I'm gonna let them do what they want to do, but I think the one wants to be like a YouTuber or something like that. Right now, for the most part, she wants to be like a lion, so I'm gonna just let her go with that.
That's a good choice. If you're gonna pick an animal,
they're gonna dabble in it eventually. I'm gonna have them compete or at least train jujitsu to defend themselves for sure.
Oh yeah, that would be very, very big. Just to be able to handle yourself in a situation.
Yeah. I took the 6-year-old to a capoeira. We did a capoeira class together, and I never did capoeira in my life. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm sitting there trying to be tough in front of my 6-year-old.
Yeah. I think we just lost you. You froze up. So right now it's 1:32 if you are watching.
I'm like, Daddy does this every day, It's no joke.
You froze up for a little bit, but then you came back. So that's like the dancing. It's like from Brazil, right? It's like the dancing martial art.
Yes, absolutely. It is brutal, man. It is like yoga but with strikes. And you gotta kick over each other, and you gotta stay in poses that like big guys like me are not meant to be in. And it was tough. It was one of the toughest training sessions ever. And I did it with my daughter, and she loved it, man.
Awesome. Okay, if somebody wants to follow you on social media, or they want to keep up with what you're doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
You can follow me at my social media on Instagram at Trap Daddy MMA. Trap Daddy MMA. It's just like that. TRAPDADDY MMA. There's a lot of fake profiles out there, so make sure you get the one with like I think 16 or 17,000 followers, and I'll follow you back too.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to share? You want to talk about?
No, man. I think we covered a lot, man. I appreciate you having me on, though. I think it's pretty cool, and I hope they can see this Ohio shirt. I was trying to rep a little bit. I know the guys on the radio can't see it,
but
I am wearing an Ohio shirt with all the teams on it. So shout out to Ohio. I'm in Ohio. And shout out to you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your fans for listening to me.
Hey, I appreciate you making time today. Thank you so much.
No problem, brother.
This is Clear Life